Hey everybody, hey everybody, hey everybody, hey everybody. I realized I haven't done video game trailer reviews. I hope I don't get flagged for this. I don't believe I will because I have the YouTube Plus or whatever it's called. So I wanted to do my review slash show everybody who hasn't yet maybe seen it, or maybe people who are on the fence or whatever. So this is going to be my review. I have watched it, but I haven't watched it in like full detail yet. But this is going to be my review and what I notice. So I'll just let the video speak for itself for now.
To ensure each coach and coordinator's authentic styles are highlighted, we completely rebalanced archetypes and abilities and enhanced playbooks with over 2,800 new plays. So when you battle a CEO like Kirby Smart one week and a program builder like Lane Kiffin the next, you truly feel the difference on the football field.
So, based off of the Madden one, there was actually coaches that will play how they would play. So when you play against the Lions, because I watched obviously the Madden one, when you play against the Lions, I forget his name, on a fourth down, instead of kicking it, he will go for it. So I wonder if that's what they're saying in here, that when you play against these powerhouse teams, or when you play against the smaller end teams, they'll play how you would assume they would play. For me, that's what I've noticed, like when I play against a powerhouse team and I notice they're not very good at running the ball, or they're not very good at protecting the deep ball, then I'll throw it over their heads constantly, and it'll work a majority of the time. It's not going to work every single time. But I do like that. I do like that coaches now actually feel different, and it is the little things about the game.
New depth also offers more options when creating your own coach, giving you more control over the path you ultimately take. A new progression curve offers early career momentum with more sustained growth across a new level cap up to 100. Of course, no coach excels
Again, it's the little things, because so I took the Hawaiian team. That was my very first college football franchise that I started. And they were like a 2.5, maybe a 1.5 star team. I think a 1.5 star. And I brought them to a 5-star team, and we won the championship. But when I got to level 50, there was nothing, I couldn't upgrade anymore, and I had still the master builder, or whatever it's called, in the other one to unlock, and there were several other things to unlock. So I'm glad that I wish there wasn't a cap, but there probably is a cap for coding reasons or whatever. My brain forgot what I was going to say. I like that it's now double that. So I was very close. I had the points to unlock those stuff, but there was the level 50 cap. So I do appreciate that they've now doubled that.
Everything. So hire coordinators who complement your strengths or shore up your weaknesses, and make sure to leverage your staff's.
What I typically do is I go for a quarterback, a staff member that complement, or that helps out my weaknesses. So if I'm very heavily in recruiting, I would want them to be very heavily in CEO, very heavily in tactician, or something like that.
Active archetype perk to really accelerate your progression. Updates to how coaching archetypes are unlocked, balanced, and expanded make each coaching path even more strategic and distinct. All 3 base archetypes now require a minimum coach level to unlock, promoting focused early investment and making your initial archetype choice more meaningful. New scaling archetype costs encourage more intentional choices as you progress. Now, advancing within your specialty, like moving from recruiter to elite recruiter, is more affordable than a path that requires.
And I like that. I like that a lot. I like that the path that you choose will get easier and cheaper the longer that you're on that path. So now, it does help instead of just randomly choosing two others, because you're always probably going to go recruiting. Even with like the Bulldogs, you're always going to go recruiting. But I like that when you go for elite recruiting, you actually get those points early and cheaper. So that does help the smaller schools, and that obviously helps the bigger schools. Or you can go in motivation early and get all of those points. I like that it's actually cheaper to go down the path that you're currently on, which is very nice.
Players learning a new skill set. Preserve your dynasty legacy with the all-new.
It's a small thing. I wasn't too huge on having a trophy room, but it is cool. It's cool to see the stats of your players. It's cool to see how many. I wonder if it'll show you like if one of your players got the Heisman, or if it's just going to be coaching trophies. I would assume just coaching trophies, but
Trophy room. Showcase every trophy, title, and individual award won throughout your coaching journey. And look ahead at what coveted hardware you still need to strive for. The new college football history feature serves as a college football history book and lets you compare your program to the all-time greats, adding a new dimension of legacy building to dynasty. We've revamped the transfer portal to create more realistic player movement, especially among the 4- and 5-star players. Now, from 2,000 up to 3,500 athletes can enter the portal each.
I like that. I like that they have more options in the transfer portal, because that is realistic. And we'll talk about it later, but they've now changed reasons to why these players will enter the transfer portal. Maybe they're on a top squad and they want to go to a bottom school just so they can up their stats, or maybe it's not close to home, or maybe they don't like certain facilities.
Season, giving you fresh ways to build your roster year after year.
And that actually helps again with the smaller schools, because it is hard to get a recruit to come to your school in the very first couple of seasons. So through the transfer portal, you may find that hidden gem who wants to come to your school for any particular reason, and that's awesome. That's great. That it helps those bottom schools.
New dynamic deal breakers are player expectations that evolve with their talent.
So and they'll probably explain it in 2 seconds, but what he's saying is, let's say you do pick up a guy and he's fully committed to your team, and he's okay with, say, his playing time. His playing time, say, is at a B plus, and you have a or say he wants a B and you have a B plus, and you're like, okay, sick, I just made it. But let's say he was a running back and you already have 3 70-plus running backs, and they're younger by a year, or they're just better, and his playing time promise will go up. Then it'll go up to an A, and then he'll wanna leave your team. So I wonder if that's for every single player or just players that. I mean, it is cool. It will be kind of annoying. I'll have to see. Maybe it won't be annoying, but I'll just have to see what players. If it's completely random, okay, that's a little bit of an issue, because again, what if I have 2, let's say 80 overall guys playing offensive tackle, but then my 60 guy that I randomly picked up on the last day of transfers or whatever, bumped himself up to a 75, and now he wants to play, but I don't have any spots to play him. He's then gonna leave, which I guess, is realistic. Like, if you didn't have a spot to play him, so I guess you just have to assume every player is going to upgrade.
That 3-star freshman who is happy with average facilities? If he's an All-American by junior year, he might be looking for top-tier amenities.
Yeah.
And whether it's listed as a deal breaker or not, your most talented players may still demand playing time. Some coach.
Which, I don't know if that's going to be a caveat or not. Like, it just seems weird. It just seems weird to me. But, again, if it's just random, then okay, I guess that's fine. But it just seems weird that a 91 wide receiver would want playing time. Like, yeah, of course you're gonna get playing time. But I guess it just adds another element to the game that I wouldn't have even thought to add. Like, of course the 91 wide receiver is gonna get playing time, but maybe to him playing time is getting more catches, not just playing in the game, but more literally playing time. Like, so he can get his eyes on NFL teams.
Abilities can impact dynamic deal breakers, providing strategic recruiting advantages.
I'm just gonna see if they changed any of this. Boost complimentary visits, have a bigger. They didn't, so it doesn't seem like they changed these, which is fine because, I mean that's fine. I didn't get it. I did not get a chance. I wonder if they upgraded this one. Increased chance to learn dev trait. I unlocked that a couple of times in different positions, and I wasn't really looking for it, but I didn't see it on a lot of players. Like, I didn't see what the dev trait was.
New dynamic dev traits have a bigger impact on player growth, along with more abilities across 59 total player archetypes.
Yes, so I don't know if people watch the Madden one. They've introduced different ouch type player types. Jeez, that was a mouthful. So now they have different ouch types of wider versions. So there's the versatile big running back. The what's his name? The Eagles guy, I can't remember his name. He's a big, like, brooding guy, but he's also agile. Like, the cover is literally him jumping backwards, jumping over somebody. Then there's the Gronkowski type, who is just a big, brooding tight end. Can't really do much else, but you don't want to be in his way. There's the it did explain it in the Madden in the Madden trailer.
For better variety among athletes, and skill group levels increased from 10 to 20.
Sorry, I just caught something that I didn't see before. Archetypes can increase a player's skill group caps with the limitless and put on wing abilities. CEOs can increase all skill caps. See, that was the other thing. I never got to unlock the CEO, or actually maybe the archetypes, but I never got to unlock the CEO. And unlocking that brings up the cap, takes off of the cap from certain, like, see how there's this little gray area? That's the cap. So that's as much as this player can grow in his pass coverage. But with the CEO, those caps can be slowly removed. I don't know if they all get removed, but they can definitely be slowly removed. Or just, like, removed one at a time at least.
20. So progression feels more gradual and realistic. Recruiting visits now involve location-based costs.
So again, they'll go into more detail about this, but what I've learned what this means is, let's say you're Hawaii. Actually, this is a bad example. Let's say you're Georgia. Georgia, I don't know my American map history, but I'm just gonna say it's on the left. And let's say, actually it's on the right now that I'm thinking of that. Let's say it's on the right. San Jose, again, I'm gonna get this completely wrong, whatever. Let's say it's just more on the left. This particular player might not want to come to your team, even though your team is a top tier team. This guy will care more about the location. So he doesn't want to go across country to go to, play football. He wants to stay in his hometown. So again, that might be better for the lower end schools, who want to try and get players, because let's say there is a top tier team going after the 100 ranked prospect, but your team is actually in that state that he wants to play in, and maybe he'll favor your team over the Georgia team.
So the further a prospect lives from your campus, the more recruiting hours a visit costs. This simulates an authentic recruiting challenge faced by smaller programs who must focus locally, while powerhouses can recruit nationally. New recruiting battles create high-stakes showdowns when multiple schools are neck and neck for a cup.
So I watched this in another video, recruiting battle is basically, instead of you waiting until the very end, and just hoping for the best that you get this prospect. And I've done that probably 20 plus times, and getting the prospect maybe 2 times and wasting all of that time and energy. When there's a recruiting battle like this, you both get one more chance. And I don't know when that happens. I would like to safely assume in the next following week. You both get one more chance to give your best offer to the guy, and then he makes his decision, which I think is way better, because then instead of wasting your whole time and randomly seeing what's going to happen, even if this is still random, you have now a thing to look at. You have a battle. You have a thing to pay attention to, that it doesn't feel like it's as random.
To recruit, and team needs are now front and center on your prospect list, so you always know
it's a small thing, but it is nice to see. Like, it's nice to see, okay, I have 0 quarterbacks, I have only one edge, I have 4. They also I don't know if they explain it in the trailer, but they also spread out the positions. So now they have tackle, and they have guard, and they have center instead of just O-lineman. They have, I don't really know what Mike means, but I think it's middle, inside. No, that wouldn't make sense. Maybe, I don't know. I think it's like the guys who like a shorter free safety, I think. If somebody wants to explain what a mic is. And there was another position that
exactly where to focus your efforts.
Didn't make just so much.
When it comes to wear and tear, every player now has a seasonal health pool that
so I like this. I didn't even think that they could expand upon wear and tear. And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't get the wear and tear, it's not realistic, it's not fun. It is realistic. It is fun. Like, it adds a whole different element, because you could have your star running back who, here's an example I'll toss to you. Let's say it's the final game of the season, and you desperately need a win to make the playoffs. You know, if you win this game, you've made the playoffs. But your running back, who has playing time and wants playing time and is willing to leave to get more playing time, is very short on his stamina, and he will probably lose you the game if you play him. But if you play him, he might stay. So to me, that gives you a choice of, do I play the guy and risk losing the game but keeping the player for the future, or do I risk losing the player and winning the game? And for me, I'd probably risk losing the player. Doesn't matter how good the running back is, you can always get more players. And that's where the transfer portal comes in, the upgraded transfer portal, and that's where the upgraded recruiting comes in. They've just added things that I didn't think they could add upon.
Depletes as they recover. And once it's empty, they can't bounce back until the offseason. New autos.
I wonder, too, if they get injured. Like, if it goes lower, I wonder if they get injured.
Subs incorporate different wear and tear strategies.
So I'm gonna have to look into this further, but you can obviously change your wear and tear for sub outs, like, and I might do that for a position that I use a lot, maybe running back, or a position that uses a lot of players, like tackle. Like, maybe I'll lower the fatigue on that as not as much, but for quarterback, for a sub in, maybe I'll leave it. Maybe I'll make it a little higher, because I don't know. I'll have to see. But I do enjoy that you can customize your wear and tear, and this is, I feel, a feature that not a lot of people will see. Like, not a lot of people will experience.
Allowing you to customize substitution thresholds and better manage your team's long-term usage. Within custom conferences, the new protected opponents.
So again, this is cool. I don't really understand it, but it's cool. So, if you do switch conferences, you can protect up to 2 rivals, which then helps for your scouting and prospect and transfers, because then you can keep your rival games even if you switch conferences, because that's what I tend to do. When I take a lower end team and I make them I upgrade them into a better team, I don't want to stay in the Sun League and destroy everybody and just make the playoffs and then get destroyed myself. I switch conferences and put myself into just a slightly harder conference, so I play different teams while I'm equal to them in a sense. But I like that you can keep protected opponents, which I will definitely turn on, because maybe I'll create an opponent, and I'll create a rivalry in the Sun League, and I do have to play somebody from a lower end team. Not every single game you play is against somebody in your conference, which is interesting, and I'm glad I'm playing the game to understand that.
Option ensures certain annual matchups, regardless of divisional changes. Preserve key rivalries like Michigan versus Ohio State every year with this feature, up to 2 protected opponents per team. New formation subs provide flexibility to assign players to specific alignments, adding ways to strategically exploit opponent team weaknesses.
Yeah, so again, I'm going to have to look into this myself, because pretty much every word here that's on the left, I don't understand what that means, but there is certain players that I've switched to completely different positions because I've noticed in their their player stats, I'm like, well, this guy, he's a DL, but he plays like a free safety, so then I move him back. But I'm like, I don't want to. He doesn't have great cornerback stats, so maybe I'll put him back to DL, and then he's just stuck being a DL. But now, if I'm understanding this correctly, I can move him to one of those positions where he plays like a DL, but in the position of a linebacker or in the position of a free safety, but not fully in the backfield.
Take advantage of new position archetypes with up to 50 subs per team, with packages that persist season to season. With crossplay in Dynasty, build your college football empire with friends on any platform. Use the enhanced Player Hub and new Members tab to effortlessly manage your Dynasty and stay connected. Pre-order the MVP bundle. Includes...
Yes, they didn't. I thought they did explain, and they also didn't explain. But sorry, they did explain it. The 2 things that I'm thinking of, one of them they did explain in the gameplay trailer. In the gameplay trailer, one of the biggest things that I remember from it was, you can customize. So with the offense, you can customize the routes. With now the defense, you can customize the routes. So you can get as meticulous as you possibly can be and want. So like I said, you can put that DL in that LB position, but maybe push them back where the free safeties are going, but not all the way. You can customize the defensive route, so if you know a team's gonna long bomb it, but you just want it, just in case you want to keep that middle backfield covered, you can have your 2 corners go further, because so many times I've been caught out and I know exactly what they're gonna do, but I can't change it because then they just throw into that middle ground. I would show you the gameplay one, but I have to go all the way back, and I might get monetized for that, just because ads or whatever that's on YouTube. But I am very much looking forward to this game. I was kind of teetering and being like, oh, you know what? Let me watch the videos just to be safe. But no, I think it's pretty much convinced me. The game comes out on July 10th, I believe. What month? Yeah, July 10th. So that's like 2.5 weeks. Obviously, for people who have pre-ordered the extra premium bundle or whatever it's called, you get it 3 days extra. Yes, if anybody could explain what the mic position does, if anybody has any tips on how to recruit, on how to play, because this is my very first time, or my second time ever playing a college football game. And I absolutely enjoyed the first one. I kind of wish they didn't come out with a game yearly, but it is EA, unfortunately. But I will add one last point. EA was kind of smart for doing this. They created their own problem. And what I mean by that is they came out with the college football game. Then when they came out with the Madden 26 trailer, everybody was like, this just looks like college football, and we want this in the college football, and we want this in the college football game. And then EA's like, okay, like we can easily do that. So they kind of created their own problem by fixing their own problem. They created their own competition. And which is such a smart thing to do. Maybe it was not unintentional, maybe it was intentional. But they made their own competition, so now the things that they put into the college football game, if people like it, they can put into Madden. And the things that they put in Madden that people like, they can put in college football. And the things that people don't like, they can take out of either game. It was such a smart move for them to do this. They were probably pushed against the wall because everybody wanted this game to come out. And for those who still don't know, I don't know why you wouldn't, but why the game finally was able to come out is because the NIL and the NFL, I don't exactly know the terminology, but they made a deal to pay the players, the college football players, for their likeness, their faces, their names, what they wear, yada yada. And I actually just watched, I watched the Air movie about the Michael Jordan shoe, and I didn't realize that same guy was the person who bid for college players to be paid. So basically, we have to thank that guy for the college football game. But for now,